And welcome everybody to episode 5 of Wyatt's Hour, where every week we talk about the biggest news and the biggest sports and entertainment news of the week. And this week we have a lot of things to go over with each other today. We're going to be talking about what's going on in the box office. We're going to look at the top 10 movies that are making the most. Why are they making it? My thoughts on it. We're also going to be talking about the latest NBA transactions. So any free agent signings and any trades that have happened, we will be talking about that. I will also be talking to you guys about the upcoming movies for the month of July, movies that I think you should know about. My thoughts on these upcoming movies. Then we'll be talking about a little bit about baseball, on what a couple of teams should be doing at the trade deadline. And then we will end everything off today by talking about the FIFA World Cup. So, and before we go to our music break, if you guys did not know, over the weekend, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are officially husband and wife. And they are officially married. So congratulations to both Travis and Taylor Swift. So that was a good thing that happened this weekend. So the weather looks like it's going to be good today with some showers later on. So we will be back. We are going to go into a music break. And so after the music break, we will be talking about the biggest box office, the list of the movies that have made the most money in the box office this year. So stay tuned and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. We are back from the music break. You were listening to Taylor Swift, Hey Stephen. And now, before we get into the the box office list that we're going to be talking about today, so the temperature today, like I said before, it's going to be 90 degrees today. It's going to be a little hot, and then later on, it's going to be raining. So if you're going to play outside, or if you're going to go swimming, after you listen to my radio show, of course, I will go ahead and do that before it starts raining. But let's head right in to the box office so far, what's going on in the world of movies. So our first film that has made the most money this year is none other than the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, that has made $1.009 billion so far this year. It's the first movie to reach $1 billion in box office sales this year. It had a budget of $110 million. And to give you a little bit about the plot, I won't reveal too much because I know there might be some people listening who hasn't watched it yet. But you got Princess Rosalina, the adoptive mother of the Loomis living in the Cosmic Observatory, is kidnapped by Bowser Jr., who plots to drain her powers to fuel a universe-destroying cannon in honor of his father, Bowser, who was defeated by Mario and Luigi and shrunken by Princess Peach. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi are called to inspect a disturbance in the Tostarena town, where they discover and befriend the dinosaur Yoshi, who had hatched in Brooklyn and was pursued back to his home world after accidentally breaking a dinosaur skeleton in a museum. Now, that right there instantly gets me excited to go watch the movie, because the first movie was really a success. A lot of people at the start were complaining about who was playing Mario, and the person who plays Mario is Chris Pratt, which I think he's done an amazing job as Mario. And I've heard that a lot of people like the Galaxy movie. And what happened in the first movie was Bowser was shrunken, and he's now a little creature locked away. So he can't come out. But he had a son named Bowser Jr. who is trying to relive his father's legacy, which, I mean, I would too if Bowser was my father. But so Super Mario Galaxy movie tops at number 1. Number 2 on this list is none other than Michael. It's a biographical film, and it has made $978 million, and it had a budget of $200 million. It's considered the most money made, the highest grossing biographical film of all time. And a little bit about the plot for Michael is it talks about Michael's life. So it talks about the great Jackson 5. It talks about as a kid of him wanting to become a musician and kind of his story of how he became a musician and some of his early songs that he did in the 80s, and really captivating how famous he was. And it told Michael it told Michael Jackson in a way of where everybody loves it. And what's best about that is I think it's his nephew, Jafar Jackson, is the man who actually plays Michael Jackson. And I've heard that he's taken so many dance classes. He has watched so much film on Michael Jackson that he's basically Michael Jackson. So that is the second highest grossing film. The third, and we have talked about it a couple of times on this show actually, Toy Story 5 is the third highest grossing film of the year. Toy Story 5 had a budget of $250 million. They have made $764 million since June 19th. Insane. That was literally only a couple weeks ago. Like 2 weeks ago, and in 2 weeks they've already made $700 million. That is insane. But I'll give you a little bit of the plot as well. I'll give you a little bit of the plot. So if you're unaware of Toy Story, if you haven't listened to the past episodes, Toy Story 5 is a movie about how the toys are trying to fight a lily pad iPad. We're in the world of technology now, so Bonnie is most of her attention is actually on this iPad. And his iPad seeks to destroy and seeks to try to get rid of all the toys. Because in this day and age, not a lot of kids think, oh, I want to play with my toys. They instantly go, I want to play on my iPad, or I want to play on technology. And you rarely see kids now playing with their toys, playing with Legos, action figures, Barbies. You name it, kids don't play with those anymore. And Toy Story really captivated that kids don't play, and so the toys are trying to get Bonnie's attention. They're trying to win her love back. And without spoiling the movie, I won't tell you how it goes down because I haven't watched it yet, so I don't want to spoil it for myself. But it seems like a really good movie, a really interesting movie. The fact that it's made so much money right now is insane. I bet you this will go well over $1 billion probably the next time we speak. So then the fourth, actually let's talk about the movies that I've been talking about in the past. Obsession is a supernatural horror film. It was written and directed by Curry Barker. He's a YouTuber. He does like comedy skits on YouTube, and he had this opportunity to direct Obsession. And Obsession has actually become the 10th highest grossing horror film of all time. And it has officially made more money off of a low budget than practically any other movie ever. It has made $403 million. That's a lot. Last time we spoke about Obsession, it was like $200 million. So it's reached $200 more million after we've talked about it. It had a $750,000 budget. That is like literally insane. So I'll give you a little bit of the plot, just so that if you're unaware of Obsession, you know exactly what to look forward to. Baron Bailey has romantic feelings for his friend, Nikki Freeman. They work at a music store alongside their friends Ian and Sarah. He returns home to find that his cat, Sandy, has died after consuming some things that cats should not be consuming. And Bear visits a crystal shop intending to buy Nikki a replacement tiger's eye necklace, but instead buys her a one-wish willow, a novelty toy that claims to grant one wish per person when broken. Later that night, after a group hangout, Nikki directly asks Bear if he likes her, which he nervously denies. Frustrated with himself, Bear breaks the one-wish willow, wishing for Nikki to love him more than anyone in the world. Talk about obsession. That is literally the definition. So basically what that means is Bear, or Bailey, he has a crush on his friend Nikki, and he doesn't tell her that he does at first. He's really nervous about telling her, but then goes behind her back and uses a one-wish willow to wish that she loved him, even though it's never revealed if she loved him in the first place. She could have, but we'll never know. But that sounds like a really interesting movie. What makes it horror is Nikki is actually like a supernatural being, and in the movie there's some movement and there's some things that Nikki does that's like really scary and really supernatural, and which makes it a horror film. But that, and on the official list, Obsession is the 5th highest grossing movie of the year. And the last movie we'll be talking about is The Backrooms. And The Backrooms has officially made $350 million off of a $10 million budget. And The Backrooms, it's a really niche movie. You have to be knowledgeable of like liminal spaces to really know what Backrooms is. But The Backrooms, if you don't know what it is, it's a creepypasta where back in 2019 on the at the time the messaging at 4chan, he had uploaded pictures of what seemed like an abandoned office building. Instead of making the story that it's a liminal space, it's a space that everybody remembers being in, but you've never been there. Like if you see a building like, oh, I feel like I've been there before, but you've never been there, that's like a liminal space. That's a place where your brain has made the story that you've been there before when you've never been there, and it just feels familiar to you. And it was turned into a movie, and Backrooms is actually really good. From what I've seen, I'll tell you a little bit about the plot of the movie. So in June 1990, a researcher with the Arsenic Research Institute, Naren Warren, is separated from his group and becomes lost in the backrooms. Extra-dimensional space containing a chaotic expanse of dull yellow rooms, fluorescent lights, long corridors, and malformed furniture. While attempting to call for rescue, Naren is chased and attacked by an unseen entity, and 6 scientists watch the recovered footage of the incident. Clark, a failed architect who owns a struggling furniture store, attempts to cope with his alcoholism and crumbling marriage. He sees therapist Mary Kane, who is working through trauma with demolition of her childhood home and her mother's institutionalization. So, just a little bit, so they're trying to find this guy, and they find the lost footage, and he gets lost in there, and he's trying to cope with his feelings. And I haven't seen it, but once you see it, it'll be really interesting. And that's made $350 million, and that is the 7th highest grossing movie of the year. So that's all we're going to be talking about for the box office for today. We'll be heading into a music break, and when we come out of the music break, we will be talking about the NBA free agency. What is going on with the trades? I got all the trades here, so when we come back, I will let you know what has happened, what you need to keep your eye on, and what I think the NBA season is gonna turn out. So we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. You are listening here on HC Hawk Radio here at the Ybor City campus. And you were just listening to One Direction, Nobody Compares. That's a really good song. And now let's head straight in to the NBA free agency. Last time we spoke about the LaMelo Ball trade, and we spoke about the Giannis trade. Now I have a lot more trades for you guys. So first we have the Oklahoma City Thunder trades Aaron Wiggins to the Atlanta Hawks for a 2030 second round pick and a 2032 second round pick. And then you have so Aaron Wiggins, he was good on the Thunder, and the Thunder really needed to create some cap space because they were gonna be violating the luxury tax, where you have so much money you can be spending on players, and if you go over that, you can get penalized. And they didn't want to get penalized. So I feel like that's going to be a good piece for the Atlanta Hawks, and I feel like it'll bring them one step closer to being going to the next level. But I don't think it's going to be like a game changer move for them. Next, we have probably one of the biggest surprises of this offseason. Jaylen Brown has been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers from the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics receive Paul George, a 2028 first round pick, a 2028 second round pick, a 2030 second round pick, and a 2031 first round pick. Now for Jaylen Brown, that is like close to nothing. Now Paul George, let's say 10 years ago, this would have been a really good trade. Paul George was really good, and then he fell off, and then injuries got to him, and now Celtics, they get a veteran, but you're not really going to go far with Paul George unless you can get other players or you can get other pieces. But they do get a couple first-round picks, so that's good. And the 76ers, now they have Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, VJ Anakombe. Like, they have pieces. The 76ers, I will say, will become a dark horse playoff contender next year. This upcoming season for sure. And then we also have big news. LeBron James is no longer going to be with the Los Angeles Lakers. He has informed Los Angeles that he is going into free agency. And man, this is huge. For the past 6 or 7 years, he has been with Los Angeles. He won a title with them. It's going to be really surprising to see how can the Lakers bounce back? And the Lakers have made a couple signings. They've made a trade to try and fill that void, but LeBron James is the greatest of this generation. Now, I know people listening are probably going to say that he's the greatest of all time. I don't think LeBron James is the greatest of all time. If you look at the stats, if you look at the impact, and if you look at the championship, the rings, Michael Jordan is easily the greatest of all time. He has never lost in a finals. He was really good in the playoffs. He was really good defensive guy. He's probably one of the most influential basketball players ever, because he's got merchandise after him. Players on the court, are they wearing LeBron shoes? Nah, they're wearing Jordans. People are wearing Jordans outside, and you barely see anybody wearing LeBrons. But also, I think Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron James mainly because of his mentality and of the impact that he's had on the people. Whenever you were a little kid, when you were trying to shoot something into the trash can, what did you say? You didn't say Jordan, you didn't say LeBron, you said Kobe. So a lot of people look up to Kobe, and Kobe will be that guy who will go down as one of the most influential people ever. But I still think Jordan is the greatest of all time, but LeBron is the greatest of this generation. And we got a couple more trades. Kawhi Leonard has been traded from the Los Angeles Clippers back to the team that he's used to, the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors gave up Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram, a 2027 first-round pick, a 2030 second-round pick, a 2031 first-round pick, 2033 first-round, and a 2033 second-round pick. Now, the Toronto Raptors, they are trying to build the team around Kawhi Leonard. They've had they had a great season, and the Clippers, they had a mid season. They were mid, but I feel like now with Grady and Brandon Ingram, they'll get a lot better, and the picks that they have been that they've received, bro, you can build a future. So within the next 5 years, I expect the Clippers to be up there as well. Speaking of Los Angeles Lakers, the Lakers have traded they traded a whole bunch of picks, actually. They traded a 2028 first-round pick, a 2030 first-round pick, a 2031 first-round, and a 2023 first-round. So they traded 4 first-round picks to the Utah Jazz for Walker Kessler, and he signs like a 4-year, $160 million deal. So he's like your center. The Lakers are trying to build the team around Luka Doncic, but you need defense. They're signing a whole bunch of offensive guys, but you need defense. And that's what LeBron did so great, is he's a great defensive guy. Even at 41 years old, he's a great defensive guy. And I feel like Lakers will they're my team, but I don't think they're going to really do that well because you don't have defense. You're constantly going to get into overtime and probably win by like 1 or 2 points because you don't have defense. Defense wins championships. Offense just wins you games. And speaking of LeBron, I have heard that he is either going to the 76ers or the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I've heard that if he goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, they will open up a roster spot for his son, Bronny James, to play with his father in the very city that he started his career with, which is a dream come true if you're a Cleveland fan, because Cleveland, let's be honest, has not had any luck in sports within the past 10 years. So this would be a really good thing for Cleveland. And then we'll go over one more trade with you guys real quick. Los Angeles Lakers traded DeAndre Ayton to the Washington Wizards for Jaden Hardy, a 2031 and 2032 second round pick. Now, DeAndre Ayton, he was a good center. He was supposed to be the replacement center for Anthony Davis when he left. But now you got Walker Kessler. So I don't know how good Walker's going to be. But if he's better than DeAndre Ayton, then that's fine. But I don't think he will. DeAndre Ayton was good. He was good a couple years ago, but like I said, injuries and switching to multiple teams has really derailed how good of a role player he is. But yeah, and then for LeBron, we'll end this section with LeBron. I heard that he's gonna go. I heard that he's also thinking about going to Washington, the Golden State Warriors. We got Stephen Curry. We could have LeBron James, and I heard that if LeBron signs with them, they'll get Anthony Davis, and this will be a really interesting, definitely a really interesting NBA free agency because it's the most exciting that it's been in the past couple of years. So you have multiple big talents switching teams, and who knows who's the next big NBA player to get traded? Who knows where will LeBron sign? Who knows? That's what makes it so exciting, is that you never know what's going to happen next. But anyway, that is all for the NBA portion of Wyatt's Hour. We're going to go right into a music break. After the music break, we will be talking about upcoming movies that are going to be coming out in the month of July. And what I think they're gonna do. So we will be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. You're listening here on HC Hawk Radio on Live 365, or if you're watching us on YouTube on HC Hawk TV on YouTube. You had just gotten done listening to Seven Rings by Ariana Grande. Now, upcoming next, we're going to be talking about the upcoming movies that will be coming out in the month of July and what I think about them. Now, we got 3 movies coming out on July 10th. We got Evil Dead Burn. It's a horror movie. It's a horror movie. It's after the loss of her husband, a woman seeks solace with her in-laws in their secluded family home. As one by one they are transformed into deadites, turning the gathering into a family reunion. She comes to discover that the vows she took in life live even in death. So it's like a psychological horror movie where she's trying to be with her in-laws, but it's like a whole battle thing. They're trying to. It's more of a story, like it's got lore, and if you're the type of person that likes horror, that likes movies that have like a lot of story in it, and then this is for you. This is coming out on July 10th. Next movie we have coming out on July 10th is Moana live action. And this is after the first animated movie, Moana. Now they're making a live action of the movie Moana. And as you all know, we got Dwayne Johnson, who is Maui. We have Catherine Lajaya. I think that's how you say her name. She's Moana. And this movie seems to have potential, but I don't think it's going to do as well as the first two movies. I think it'll make back its budget, which the budget isn't revealed yet. But I will say it's not going to do as well as the first two, because a lot of people, they like sequels if it calls for it. If it doesn't call for a sequel, then people are more likely to not like the movie or the franchise, because they do so many sequels after sequels after sequels, and they think, oh, we're trying to make money, we're trying to grab your attention, but the story isn't there. And this is literally a retell of the first Moana, but just live action. So I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm sure people are going to love it, but I don't think it's going to do as well as you would think it would do. And then one of the biggest movies of July, we have The Odyssey, which comes out on July 17th. And a little bit about this movie. You have Christopher Nolan, Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway. You have a lot of big stars in this movie. And The Odyssey follows Odysseus, the legendary Greek king of Ithaca, on his perilous journey home after the Trojan War, depicting encounters with mythical beings such as the Cyclops, Platformus, the Sirens, and the witch goddess Circe, culminating in his long-awaited reunion with his wife Penelope. Now, Christopher Nolan is actually a good director because he last directed Oppenheimer, which we all know how Oppenheimer did. Oppenheimer did really well. So I have hopes for The Odyssey. I feel like it's going to be a good movie. I feel like people, after the end of the year, I think it'll be top 10 box office, most box office of 2026. And then also on July 17th, we have the movie Cut Off. Now, we know who's in this movie. You have Kristen Wiig, Betty Milder, Camila Cabello, which she's a song artist, and Jonah Hill. The only plot that we know of this movie is follows two rich siblings who are cut off from their parents. Now, from what I'm looking on movieinsider.com, it lists this movie coming out on the 17th. So there really isn't that much that we know about. But it seems like a lot of people are interested in this movie. So I can't say too much about it because there's not that much information that I'm given. But Jonah Hill is going to be the director of this movie, so we'll see how it goes. And the biggest movie of July, you have Spider-Man Brand New Day. And man, this movie is I believe this will reach the best, highest grossing box office film this year, and most likely 5 or 6 days of it being released. So we'll probably, after it releases, one of our last episodes that we do on Wyatt's Hour, we'll probably actually be able to get to talk about Spider-Man. So a little bit, so who all is involved with Spider-Man? You got Tom Holland as Peter Parker. You have Sadie Sink, Zendaya, Mark Ruffalo, who is Hulk. You have Jacob Belton, Marvin Jones. So you have a lot of You have a lot of good actors in here, and the story is 4 years have passed since the events of No Way Home. Peter's now an adult living entirely alone, having voluntarily erased himself from the lives and memories of those he loves. Crime fighting in a New York that no longer knows his name. He's devoted himself entirely to protecting his city, a full-time Spider-Man. But as the demands of him intensify, the pressure sparks a surprising physical evolution that threatens his existence. Even as a strange new pattern of crimes gives rise to one of the most powerful threats he has ever faced. That sounds like a movie of the year. I have seen the trailer, and boy, does that sound really good. It looks good. The movie has potential to being the highest grossing movie of the year. And I'm really excited to see, because No Way Home was really good too, and I'm excited to see how Brand New Day comes about and what is next on the Spider-Man timeline. Well, that's all the movies that are coming out in the month of July. You got a couple movies to keep your eyes on. Definitely Spider-Man is the most hyped, but also the Odyssey is a sleeper pick to be in one of the most hyped movies. Also, Moana also could be the movie of the month. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about a little bit about the MLB, what my opinions on what each team should do, what the MLB website, what the reporters think some MLB teams need to do to make sure that they can get to the playoffs. So we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. We're going to be talking a little bit about baseball. We won't spend too much of our time if we still got to talk about the FIFA World Cup. And let's just say this World Cup is becoming one of the best I have watched in recent years. But let's head right into the MLB. So we got a couple of things. We'll highlight a couple of teams. We'll go over what the Tampa Bay Rays need to do to help further their team. We'll talk about two more teams as well. So this is on the official MLB website. They have what each team needs to do to be better and actually get to the MLB playoffs. So we will talk about the Blue Jays first. So the Blue Jays, MLB says that they need to find their number 5 starter. Even if the group has been imperfect at times, the Blue Jays are set with a top 4 of Dylan Crease, Kevin Kosman, Trey Yesavage, and Shane Bieber. The number 5 spot is where the opportunity lies in this rotation, which has been plagued by injuries and is without Jose Barrios and Cody Ponce for the rest of the season. Patrick Corbin has struggled over the past month, and Max Scherzer is on the IL with another injury. He injured his back. This feels like the Blue Jays' easiest way to upgrade their team in saving a gas bullpen, according to Keegan Matheson. So what it looks like is the Blue Jays need to find their number 5. They need to find somebody who isn't injured, who isn't injury prone, and they can rely on for the rest of the season. Now let's talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays, another bat. It's a little odd that the Rays have spent so much of this season as the AL's best team, while having so many areas to address before the trade deadline. They could use another starter to fill out the rotation. Another high-leverage reliever wouldn't hurt. They're running near the bottom of the league in OPS at second base, shortstop, and the outfield as a whole. While they don't want to diminish their defense up in the middle, it would certainly help to add a hitter who can lengthen the lineup behind the big 3 of Yandy Diaz, Jonathan Andrea, and Junior Camaro, according to Adam Berry. So it sounds like the Rays are doing amazing, but it wouldn't hurt if they traded for somebody that's a really good hitter that could help the other players on the team make sure that they can get runs and make sure that they have a much better chance of winning. So, and then the last team that we'll talk about today is the New York Yankees, a starting catcher. Austin Wells' recent stint on the injured list doubled as a reset for his swing, which has shown few indications of the power the Yankees expected him to provide. Wells' game calling and framing has remained constant, but the Yankees need more thump. The Twins' Ryan Jeffers should be a prime target, limited to 37 games so far this season. He has a pre-existing relationship with Yanks catching coach Tanner Swanson, according to Brian Hotch. So the Yankees, they need a starting catcher who could really help them make sure that they're getting outs, make sure that they're getting the hits. And Ryan Jeffers seems like the prime target for the Yankees, so the Yankees are going to try and get him. Because he would be a really good starting catcher for the Yankees. So, like I said, we're keeping this short and sweet. I want to be able to leave us with enough time to talk about the FIFA World Cup. So, we're going to go into a short music break, not too long. After the music break, our last and final segment of the day will be the FIFA World Cup. So we will be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. You are listening here on HC Hawk Radio. And we are at the Ybor City campus. Our last and final segment of the day is the FIFA World Cup. Now, the last time we spoke, they had started the round of 32. Now that we are speaking to each other again for episode 5, they're in the round of 16. So I'll tell you who won in the round of 32, and let's just say there's some upsets that happened. So on Monday, June 29th, you had Brazil versus Japan, and Brazil beat Japan 2-1, officially eliminating Japan from the World Cup. Then you had Germany and Paraguay, who actually tied to end the game 1-1, but since it's an elimination, there must be a winner. They go to penalties. And Paraguay defeats Germany 4-3 on penalties, which means Paraguay eliminated Germany from the World Cup. That was a huge upset at the time. Nobody had ever expected that to happen. Then Morocco and Netherlands had a draw again, and Morocco won on penalties 3-2, officially eliminating the Netherlands and moving on to the round of 16. On June 30th, you had Norway defeat Ivory Coast 2-1, eliminating Ivory Coast. France eliminated Sweden 3-0, and Mexico eliminated Ecuador 2-0. And then on July 1st, England eliminated the Congo 2-1, and Belgium eliminated Senegal 3-2, and the United States eliminated Bosnia 2-0. The United States had a really good game that day, and it really shows that if they could advance, if they can beat teams like Argentina, Portugal, we have a chance to win the World Cup, guys. We really have a chance, and I'm excited about that chance. Spain eliminates Austria 3-0, and Portugal eliminates Croatia 2-1, and Switzerland eliminates Algeria 2-0. On July 3rd, Australia and Egypt went to a tie, and Egypt won on penalties, 4-2 on penalties, officially eliminating Australia. And what I thought was the game of the World Cup, the best game of the World Cup, Argentina defeat Cape Verde 3-1, officially eliminating Cape Verde from the World Cup. And Colombia beats Ghana 1-0, officially eliminating Ghana from the World Cup. Now we are on the round of 16. And boy, does it get interesting. So we have 3 host teams. Canada, Mexico, and the United States are hosting the World Cup. The first team of the host cities to be eliminated was Canada. Morocco defeated Canada 3-0, and Morocco now moves on to the round of 8. And France defeated Paraguay 1-0, and France eliminated Paraguay with Mbappe getting the score for France. Yesterday, July 5th, Norway defeated Brazil 2-1, with Holland taking the lead and helping Norway get to the round of 8 and eliminating Brazil. And Neymar had actually announced his retirement from international play, so he will no longer be playing for Brazil for the World Cup, which means this is his last World Cup he will ever play in. And he had the goal in the 90th minute with 10 extra minutes, but Holland had 2 goals, which helped lead Norway to the win. In another really good game, England eliminates Mexico 3-2, and England moves on to the round of 8. So Mexico is the second host city to be eliminated. Mexico had a really good run. They were undefeated. You knew if they were going up against a big team like England that they were not going to really stand a chance, but they had a really good game. It was a really close game. Now, we do have some games going on today as Portugal is facing Spain at 3 p.m. And tonight, the United States play Belgium. The United States are favored to win, and Spain is favored to win against Portugal. Now, if Portugal loses, Ronaldo has come out and said that this will be his last World Cup he plays for Portugal. So now you got 2 retirements from the World Cup happening this year with Ronaldo and Neymar. And for tonight, it is being reported that the President of the United States will be in the house and will be watching the United States versus Belgium live. So that's for today. Tomorrow we have Argentina versus Egypt, and Argentina is favored to win by a lot. And Colombia is facing Switzerland, and Colombia is favored to win against Switzerland. Then the round of 8 begins on July 9th with France facing Morocco on July 9th. July 10th, we don't have a matchup for that yet. The round of 16 5 winner and the round of 16 6 winner will face off. On Saturday, July 11th, it will be Norway versus England. That will be a really good game because you got Holland for Norway. And so those will be really good games. We're getting to the final stretch. We're getting to where the games are really important, where you see the best of the best go and they advance. So that is the FIFA World Cup, what's going on so far. We will see who wins today. I'm hoping the United States gets the win here against Belgium. And I think Portugal will lose to Spain. I think Spain will actually eliminate Portugal today. And I have Argentina beating Egypt, and I actually have Colombia beating Switzerland. So for the round of the quarterfinals, as it's officially called, you have the winner of Portugal and Spain will face the winner of USA and Belgium. Then you have the winner of Argentina and Egypt facing the winner of Colombia and Switzerland. So that is all for the FIFA World Cup for right now. When we talk with each other again, we will actually get to know the round of the quarterfinals will actually will be towards the end, and we will get to the semifinals. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for Wyatt's Hour. We've done the FIFA World Cup portion. We still got 5 minutes with each other, so we're gonna go into a music break real quick. Have us have a chance to take it all in. Once we come back from the music break, we will be doing a recap of today and giving you your fun fact of the day. So we'll be back right after this. And welcome back to Wyatt's Hour. We are towards the end. We're in the long stretch. Thank you guys so much for listening to Wyatt's Hour today. It was such a pleasure to speak to you guys. We talked about the box office movies, some of the box office movies that are performing really well. We talked about the NBA free agency and transactions. I was actually more prepared this time, so I gave you guys a lot more trades that happened and my thoughts. And I can't wait to see where LeBron goes. Then we spoke about upcoming movies that are coming out in the month of July, and we talked a little bit about the MLB and what some of the reporters think the Rays need to do, and the Yankees and the Blue Jays. And then we spoke about the FIFA World Cup. And before we go today, I have a couple of fun facts for you guys to end the show today. So, did you know that honey never spoils? And a day on Venus outlasts its year. And a shrimp's heart beats inside its head. So, a day on Venus lasts 243 Earth days, which is longer than its entire 225-day year. So, basically, you spend a day on Venus, and that's basically a year in Venus, which is crazy to think about. And then, a shrimp's heart is anatomically located entirely within its head. And then your dominant hand's fingernails grow significantly faster than the nails on your non-dominant hand. And that honey never spoils. So those are a couple of fun facts for you guys for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I enjoyed speaking to you guys. We'll be back here next week for episode 6 of Wyatt's Hour. Can't believe we're already at 6 episodes for this summer. So we will see you guys back here next week for another episode of Wyatt's Hour here on HC Hawk Radio. See you guys later.